If you're tired of not making progress and you're ready to be the artist you know you're meant to be, you're in the right place. You're listening to the Singer's Path podcast. The Path, or Performing Artists Training Hub, will cover everything, including singing tips that actually work, advice from top industry professionals, and life-changing mindset shifts. Out with the starving artist and in with the thriving artist. I'm your host, Sarah Bishop, professional singer, actor, educator, and entrepreneur. I'm not afraid to speak the truth and stop the gatekeeping of quality information so you can actually become the artist you dream of being. So let's get on the path, shall we? Even though we're all on our own journeys, it always helps to have a guide.
Hello. Welcome back to the Singer's Path podcast. In this special, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 parts when I'm recording this. Maybe 2 parts because I talked so much last time. In the special 2 to 3 part episode, you will know by the end. That's a surprise. And even I will be surprised. In this special series, we are actually unlocking why and how doing the inner work, looking inside, is actually integral to you manifesting the things you want into your life, to you actually enjoying and embodying the dreams that you have been working so hard, you've been grinding, you've been pushing. But this is where you're going to learn how, this is the missing piece. And I'm going to speak through my own experiences, how I am a living, walking, breathing testimonial of doing this work and how it absolutely completely changed my life. And this is also the second episode while this is being released. Happy holidays for everybody in the US, especially celebrating Thanksgiving. I hope you had a wonderful time with your family. You're enjoying yourself. You're resting, all of that. I know you're being bombarded so much with fucking capitalistic shit. So as you're looking to look for places to spend your money, just know this is the second episode that I'm actually talking about this. I did release it early here on the podcast. But at this time, there is a very special founding members membership for the Inner Circle, Singer's Path Inner Circle, which is actually a course that I've co-created with other, with therapists, with somatic practitioners, with people that specialize in helping to understand what your subconscious blocks are. And this co-creation is basically a self-led experience, and it's also a community. So there's going to be more information talking about that later in this episode. There'll be like a whole ad that plays about it. But I just want you to know the official announcement is here. It is public. It is live. The Singer's Path Inner Circle membership is happening, and it is going to be the thing that is that missing piece that gets you out of your own head. It helps you heal your relationship with your own creativity. It's been made in integrity with experts that I trust. It's been co-created so that it actually works. It's important to note that this is not therapy, right? This is a self-led experience and career counseling and career coaching membership. However, I still want to make sure it works. So I brought on people who knew what the fuck they were talking about to help me design it. You know what I mean? So there's that. There's going to be another ad that runs, but I want to let you know that that's what we're kind of tying into. And the inner work that is developed and you will learn how to do inside the Spotlight system, which is part of this membership, is what I'm going to be talking about, how I've embodied that in my own life. And I've been doing this for years and years and years. And I'm just so excited to bring you this final piece, because this is the part that not only does it make your dreams happen, but it makes the things that are actually for you happen. It starts to help you tango with the universe instead of fighting against the current, right? If you feel like you've been drowning in your own career, you feel like you've been drowning in the riptide of pushing. I just need to push through. I can't give up. I got to just happen. But your soul is feeling drained. You're feeling tired. It's feeling not all the way aligned. You know at the deepest core of your heart that it might not be all the way right, and you might not be ready to admit that to yourself yet, but you just know something's off, and you know you need help in order to learn how to hold yourself through things, and be able to stay in the game and have your mind work for you and not against you, right? Not be second guessing your tapes anymore. Actually believe in yourself, not just be told to believe in yourself, like actually give you the tools that get you to trust yourself, that teach you how to hold yourself through things, how to finally not have performance anxiety and stage fright, how to finally have a good relationship with your body image and how your voice sounds, how to finally reactivate your creative play and not be under writer's block and not be afraid of being visible anymore, be able to enjoy the success you've worked so hard for. All of these things are in the system. It is all encompassing. This membership is so supportive for artists. And again, just like anything I make, it is the missing piece to what I believe what I needed. All right. So I'm going to shut up and not talk about that too much longer because you're going to hear more about it later. So I want to get back to how I am the living, breathing embodiment of this neuro rewiring and hypnosis and neuroplasticity, and how I've done this for myself. So I talked in the last episode about how I basically rewired my brain and understood the unconscious limiting beliefs around relationship. And I told you the whole journey about how it led to me finding my husband, finally, after really consciously looking under the hood, understanding what was down there, literally using the tools that are in the Spotlight system to reprogram my mind and then start taking action from that new place. And being open to seeing what universe brings my way. And that's where we're at. And so in that story, we're going to pick up where this started to influence my relationship with money, how that started to influence the relationship with me believing that I was capable of creating anything that I wanted in my own creativity, in manifesting a lifelong dream that I didn't really realize was down there, which was my business. And getting over it, visibility. So again, this could be part 2 or part 3. There's so many things that I've done for myself at this point that has used this system that it might be part 3. But anyway, we'll find out. Anyway, let's go into it. So we left off that I manifested my husband, literally. Now, the inner work needed to hold me through even dating him initially, because again, what is unfamiliar is not safe to the system. That's something that we talked about. Your body and your subconscious is just trying to keep you the fuck alive, boo. And if you've operated from a point of just keeping yourself alive, just surviving at a certain point because you learned somewhere along the way that's what you needed to do in order to stay here, but they're not necessarily functional or leading you towards your dreams. Anything that is disruptive of that behavior, or that story, or that way of life, or that way of being is going to trigger the shit out of you. And it's going to put you in a fight or flight, and your system's not going to know what to do with it, and you might sabotage it, and it might reject it. So even when you start manifesting good things, the work never ends, right? That's when I talked about creating this membership. Like, I created for me now. Like, I'm going to be fucking in there with you guys. Like, doing it, doing the Spotlight system that's created, doing the exercises, listening to the guest speakers, like engaging in the community of sharing our creations and supporting each other and holding each other accountable. Like, this is for anyone. Just because I was the facilitator of creating it and co-creating it with people, this is for artists everywhere. Okay. But what ends up happening when you start manifesting things and up leveling, the tests get trickier, and really, universe tests you with what your system's able to hold. So at that point, I had to do a great deal of work around safety within my system, even having met a kind person. It felt like when I met Kyle for the first time, it did feel kind of unsafe in a weird way. Like, it felt so unfamiliar. My system was kind of like bucking and being like with like kind of crazy brain, like not being sure if I could feel safe to settle into this because it was so weird. I never fucking dated someone that was kind and like healed in themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I finally matched someone that was what I wanted, but it was weird. And actually, I think it's interesting because I've talked to other friends that this has happened too. Especially if you're in partnership, the first time you attract someone that's like actually good for you and actually what you want, like, yeah, it feels so, so foreign, even though you've been asking for it. It's like, oh, like, and you're going to get triggered by little things here and there, and you're going to have to work through things in fear together. And that's the beginning of relationship, is actually learning to manage life together. Right. So in this journey, we had started dating that like was absolutely just lit my life up in such a beautiful, beautiful way. It felt like it began again. It was so special. To start dating Kyle and having him in my life. And I'm so forever grateful. Like when I said in the other episode, like when I started dating him, my life turned Technicolor like the Wizard of Oz, and it literally fucking did. things started to get easier as far as my trust in myself, because I all of a sudden started to believe that like this really, I mean, I had believed that manifestation worked, but this first large manifestation coming into fruition, this dream that had come true completely, it was so wild. I didn't know immediately that that's what it was. I just knew that he was everything that I had put on my list. And I just kind of kept holding myself through it, even the uncertainty that it's foreign and it doesn't necessarily always feel safe all the time. Not safe in a way that like I was ever in danger with him, but my system wasn't used to, right? So the next big thing, this is huge. The next big thing that from doing this inner work, really what doing the inner work did the best for me was to follow my gut. To learn to follow my gut. If I have an intuitive hit, you better fucking follow that, babe. And the next, it was a pretty prevalent one. I, again, had a really sticky relationship with money. We'll probably talk about that either in this part or the next part. But I like had a really hard time investing in myself at all because I was in so much lack all the time. I had been conditioned that I was a starving artist. I had conditioned that I have to hoard my money like a little chipmunk. I can't invest in anything because, you know, what if I don't have enough and I can't pay my rent and I can't pay my groceries and, you know, I have to just hold out for the next acting gig and all of this thing. And then, you know, I have to cater waiter and then I'm wearing myself out and then I'm too tired to actually work on any of my skills and I don't have enough money to actually afford lessons and da-da-da-da-da. So that had been going on for years at this point. I think part of the reason why I was able to survive on $20,000 a year in New York City is because I had built up somewhat of a nest egg for myself, working on cabaret for a long time, and I'd paid down my student loans. So like I had made some decisions that had helped me be able to live so cheaply. However, like I just did not feel safe enough to take lessons and to improve my skill. And yet I was telling myself, okay, in my new dream or in my revised dream that I think I'm supposed to have and need, I see, you know, I feel like I'm supposed to be a lead, but I'm not competitive with those people and I can't afford to take with those people. And let me tell you vocally, guys, when you're on a show for a long time, like when I was on cabaret for a long time and then I wasn't like taking voice lessons consistently and then I tried to just audition, you're out of shape. You're not conditioned to be able to handle it. And that's why it's such a privilege. It's so fucking expensive to like do this for a living. That's why you got to kind of figure out, first of all, figure the fuck out this money story that we're going to talk about and how I started to manifest opportunity for myself here and how I healed my relationship with money and continued to do that. But when I tell you, like, if you don't look at this money stuff, you're gonna stay poor and in poverty. And again, I don't mean to say that in a way that's like tone deaf. Like, I get it. I know you're fucking out there struggling. I know you're out there doing your best. I know you're an artist. I know you have to do 5 other things. And I know, you know, you're just trying to make sure your art is the priority and you're just kind of surviving and getting through. I get that. I truly do. And still, there's some kind of lack going on because the truth is you're a completely capable person that if you listen and you focus in on what authentically you need to do and what you need even to survive beyond just the bare minimum, you can and will manifest that. And that's what we're talking about today and why it's so fucking important to do this inner work because you literally are capable and I improve. Let's be so for real. Chasing your creative dream shouldn't feel like it's draining your soul out of your eyes. But if you've been hustling for years and you still feel stuck, broke, or let's face it, completely burned out, it's not your talent that's the problem. It's your nervous system and your subconscious wiring. That's why I am absolutely thrilled to announce the Singer's Path Inner Circle, which is a membership for artists that finally want to live their creative dreams in a sustainable way. The best part about this membership is that you not only get access to exclusive content, exclusive support, you not only get connected with amazing artists all over the world and can support each other in your art, but you also get access to the revolutionary Spotlight system, which was developed in partnership with a therapist. It's built on neuroscience, neuroplasticity, and nervous system regulation, so you can actually rewire your body to feel safe succeeding and rewire your mind to actually attract the things that you've been wanting. This Spotlight System program is exclusive to members of the Inner Circle membership. And inside, you will have the opportunity to heal parts of you that keep sabotaging your art, such as the artist's money story, which will help you rewire and ditch that starving artist mentality. Fame and visibility, which will help you actually enjoy and thrive in being seen. Plus, there's even help with stage fright and performance anxiety and manifesting aligned opportunities, not ego-driven burnout hustle. This is the only artist mentorship that actually supports you in both your craft and your nervous system. And right now, during the founding members launch, this is the only time this is happening, you can join for less than $2 a day. Literally, that's less than a subway ride, okay? And if you lock in your rate now during this founding members launch, you will keep that rate forever. Forever. You can keep that low founding rate. It will never be lower than that forever. Even when the price goes up, it doesn't matter. You're a founding member, you keep the low price. And just so you know, when this offer ends, after January 7th, the price will be going up to $97 a month, okay? Stop spending your money on temporary fixes that don't work and start investing in lasting transformation, not even just in your talent, but with your brain, with your mind, with your nervous system. The Singer's Path Inner Circle membership isn't just another course that's going to lay dormant and you're never going to open it. This is your creative comeback, back to neuroscience. Doors will open Thanksgiving, although if you're listening to this, you might have access now because you're a podcast listener. So join now, lock in your founding rate, and start 2026 as the artist who finally feels safe to shine. Go to the link in the show notes or find it at sarahbishopvocalstudio.com. And now we'll get back to our episode. So this was one of, again, a tiny moment that changed my fucking life. Huge. The whole fucking reason we're here. Beyond like the Kyle thing, beyond the decision in physics from last thing where I decided I was going to musical theater, besides the tree that like helped me like meet my husband. I know if you haven't listened to the episode and you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, you need to pause and go listen to that right now. So this was another moment. This is another chapter. I had just met Kyle. And I had a hard time investing in myself because I had a really sticky relationship with money. I just spent my entire time with COVID living at my parents on unemployment. But because I was at my parents, I know I'm lucky, I'm privileged to have had a place to stay. And I know not everybody can say that. But because I had a place to stay, I was able to save up the unemployment that I got from COVID. So I had a little bit of money. I was like able to like kind of beef up my reserves a little bit more. And one day I had the intuition of, you need to start a podcast. And I was like, what? I mean, okay. Like, again, I don't have anything else to lose besides starting to listen to this thing. Like, maybe I should give that a shot. It was a big deal. A big deal. That's why when I tell you guys, I know how much of a deal it is sometimes for you guys to make investments in yourself. I respect that. I understand. I know that's why it takes a second so that you find someone that you can really trust, that you know that's going to get you results. That's why I care about making quality products, so that if you are choosing to invest, that it is of high quality and you get your money's worth, even if it is an investment. I had to invest about $500 to get a microphone and get my equipment. And that was a big, scary amount for me at that time. But it was worth it because, and let me tell you, it was kind of a roundabout way of going about this. Let me be clear. This wasn't immediately clear, but I'm going to tell you why it worked. On this podcast, if it was not this podcast, by the way, it was a different podcast. It was called Jack of All Trades, Master of Nothing. It is an interesting listen. It's really just an art piece about what my state of mind was back then. And I was really trying to really interview people and figure out how the fuck I should feel about things and think about things and how I needed to change my mindset. And, you know, I, at that point, had been doing a lot of inner work and was really just interested in listening to people's stories. So this intuitive hit was like, start a podcast. And I was like, okay. Again, no platform. Like I didn't have teaching experience yet. I knew that there was a part of me that really wanted to become a teacher, specifically in voice, but I was so scared and overwhelmed. I didn't have any training. I didn't know what to do. I didn't really want to go to grad school like NYU because I didn't want to spend another $120,000 for a degree that, you know, not that I didn't enjoy my BFA, but it wasn't everything I needed it to be, right? I needed a different way to pay for it. And so that was like a very surrendered, like kind of tucked in the back of my mind dream to be able to teach voice. But you know what? Because I surrendered and because I was following my intuition and doing the inner work and holding my nervous system through things that were scary and learning to take scary risks, because I was doing this neural rewiring that I'm talking to you about, when this intuition came in, start the podcast, take the action. I fucking did. I did. It was hard. I wanted to throw up buying that mic, but I did it. I set it up. I didn't know jack shit about having a podcast, but I figured it out. And I invited people that I respected on to give me a way to actually practice for this one. Like, first of all, I think that's the biggest thing. I don't know about you. I feel like I'm pretty good at this. I enjoy it. You know, obviously I like hearing myself talk. So sorry if you hate that. I don't think if you would be listening to this if you didn't like hearing me talk. I like hearing me talk. So perfect place for me. But it was practice. It was training ground for this. It taught me how to do it. But most of all, this is the craziest part. I think there's even this episode. You could probably go listen to it. I remember during COVID, there was a friend. She was actually my little in college. She's 2 years younger than me in school. And, you know, we had known each other and seen each other at school. And I hung out with her and, you know, we were friends. I started to see her pop off a little bit on TikTok. Like she had, you know, pretty good following. Like not anything like she has now. Obviously, as she continued to grow and grow and grow and get better and better. And just like people fell in love with her, right? But at the time... yeah, she was growing like maybe 60, 70,000 followers. I was like, wow, that's really cool. Her name is Emily Kristen Morris. And I, at that point, was just fascinated and proud of her for, you know, making these huge strides with her following. And like the information she was saying like sounded really lit. I was like, this is awesome. I was like, wow, can you come onto this podcast and talk to me? Just have a conversation with me. She did. And at the end of the conversation, she says, Sarah, like my studio is like blowing up and I have all these people that want private lessons from me, but like, I can't take all of these students. Like I'm looking for teachers. Like, would you consider going and getting trained at the place I'm trained, the Institute of Vocal Advancement? Will you consider going there and getting trained and becoming a teacher at my studio? Are you dead? Are you fucking dead? When I tell you, when you surrender and you just listen to the gut and you just say, yes, thank you, more please, let's fucking go. I trust you, intuition. I'm hearing it. I'm taking the action. I'm doing the inner work. I'm learning to hold myself through. The shit that happens is fucking bananas, okay? At that time, I was like, okay. I had kind of no idea what I was to expect. I immediately start training as a teacher. Like a couple months later, I started getting students. Her platform exploded. Millions of followers. And all of a sudden, I am thrust into this world of voice teacher training and was working so much and being mentored so heavily because I had to, because the clientele that we were getting, I had to get good fast. And I poured myself into study. I poured myself into teaching. I started teaching. My schedule filled up very, very quickly. And I, of course, as a new teacher, you're getting used to doing things. I realized right off the bat, I was really good at teaching pitch for some reason. I could get people who came in perceivably tone deaf, but they had paid me to be there. And I was like, well, okay, I don't really know how to help you. Although I did some ear training when my mother told me I was tone deaf. So I'll just give that to you and we'll just follow you and I'll intuitively listen for what you need because there is no curriculum for this. That's how I made what was first called Pitch Please and now is Pitch and Musician, is because of being thrown in the trenches and just kind of listening and helping and responding to the student right in front of me and taking immense action from there. And that created an entire course that's helped like hundreds of people at this point. It's fucking crazy. And not to, that led to my complete teacher training, which completely led to a business, which is why you're here listening to me today. Because all I had to listen to was start a podcast. Isn't that crazy? That's fucking crazy. But listen, if I didn't feel safe to take that risk because I hadn't done the money work and the investment work and gotten still within myself and learned to trust what was coming up, I wouldn't have taken the action again and I would have just been stuck in paralysis like I had been for fucking years, not moving. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to learn to hack your system, not just your mind. Obviously, the subconscious programming, put the actual program in, but then your nervous system too, because your nervous system can sabotage it even more. Your nervous system and your subconscious they're trying to keep you alive. They're not trying to make your dreams come true. Right? They're doing their best and they're operating on old programming. So again, yet another example of a huge transformative moment that literally was like the butterfly effect of just like one decision. And then seeing one person and asking them, and that leading to the next thing, and that leading to the next thing. Like, it's fucking crazy. And then after COVID, I manifested, I finally was like, I really want to, be part of a big show again. It was this interesting, like, letting go and grieving, and if it will come for me and not come for me. This tango I've been doing with a show that's, still supposed to go to Broadway at some point, called Griswold's Broadway Vacation. I manifested that pretty much immediately after COVID, things started opening up. I got that job, which was like one of the first jobs that I had gotten after kind of unfucking my own mind and putting myself in a good brain space. So I was able to hold myself through the uncertainty. I have always struggled with a lot of body image issues, a little bit of a trigger warning when I was growing up. I had a very complex and abusive situation happening in my dance studio. So anyway, I've struggled with body image throughout college and earlier in my life and in my early adult life as well. And so I think that when I was actually doing that work and looking at my own relationship with body and integrating that actually was what led to this show, which I think is really interesting because that's what I was kind of combing through and reprogramming was my relationship to body before I returned to being a dancer again. And again, in this Inner Circle membership, there is an entire unit on body image. Again, reminder, disclaimer, this is not therapy. This is not any kind of treatment for this membership. This is having live calls and having community and having access to a neural rewiring program that helps you do what I'm talking about, which is uncovering what your own subconscious blocks are and then reinstilling positive ones. And it's self-guided, self-paced lifestyle things that are meant to help you move in the right direction of your career. So this is important to make that distinction because I know some people really struggle with this particular subject in a way that's very, very difficult. And so if that's the case, it's really important that if that body piece and you're restricting your eating and there's things that are going on that you actually need professional support, then it's really important that you take that seriously and you take care of yourself and you go seek professional help as well. But if you've always just had a complex relationship with your body in the sense that, you just want to feel better about your skin, you want to feel confident about it. And even if it doesn't even have to be like, being skinny or fat or anything like that. It could be, your relationship with your face and your profile and the camera when you're making self-tapes, how your skin looks, like your complexion, it's more than just like the diet culture and the thin and being thin or thick thing. So anyway, that's something that exists in there. And again, I created that program for myself. So please, if this is something as a dancer, you've had a bit of a complex relationship with your body, that program is a lot of the inner work that I've done myself to heal that relationship and offering you ways to reframe and look at your own relationship with your body in a way that you're reclaiming your power. So again, you can get out of your own way and step into the roles that you need to be stepping into. For me, it was being a dancer in that show and getting out of my own way and just focusing on the work and focusing on a dance and not letting my own like trauma wiring sabotage my ability to do the job. So anyway, that was what I manifested from that, looking under that hood. So I did the show, and this next chapter of my life was really where I started to soften around the idea of things not looking exactly how I thought they were going to look. And this has been an ongoing process of grief and uncovering and holding myself through, which I know if you're a listener who's been in the entertainment industry for a while, or just been an artist for a while, I think this is an inevitable part of entering your 30s and your priorities change and you get clearer on what you want and things start to fall away. And this, where I'm kind of at right now, is really integrating and embodying and owning and stepping into this another version of me that is really owning this business and owning how I present myself to the world and how I can help artists usher in this change within themselves to actually have their dreams come to fruition. I think there are going to have to be two parts here. Okay. I am going to leave this off because there's even more magical stuff, and it has to do more with money, with visibility. It has to do with presence, and it has to do with stepping in and embodying actually who you want to become and rehearsing that embodiment. So I am going to leave this here. We're going to leave you wanting more. Again, I know I sound like a broken record, but please check out the Singer's Path Inner Circle. Get those 2 live calls a month. Get access to the exclusive Spotlight system to learn how to do what I'm teaching you to do here and really take ownership of your life and, step into the things that you've really been dreaming of and finally fucking enjoy them. Not only have them come to fruition, but actually be present for them and enjoy them. Get your system, get everything on board so that you are fully embodying the life you want to live, especially in your art. Check that out. And with that, I will see you next time. If you enjoy this show, please leave a 5-star written review. That helps us get this out to more people. And if you leave a review, you send a screenshot and you send it to us, we'll actually enter you to win a free lesson with me. And that's where we're going to go from there. It's a thank you for, again, taking the time to listen and leaving reviews. And with that, I am just so thrilled that you took the time to listen today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, resting up with your family in the holidays. Check out that Founders Rate Inner Circle, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. This helps me get this information out to more artists all over the world. Let's work together to spread the joys of music. Until next time, I'm your host, Sarah Bishop, signing off from the Singer's Path podcast. Thanks for listening.